Hello Mila, hello Jack, hello everybody else who's watching. Welcome to Storytime with Grandad. Today's book is from Fireman Sam, and it is Fireman Sam and the Boat Rescue. It had been raining non-stop for days in Pontypandy. Station Officer Steele called Fireman Sam and Elvis Cridlington together. "There's been an official flood warning," said Station Officer Steele. "We must get sandbags loaded and delivered as quickly as possible." "Righto, sir," replied Sam. Sam and Elvis loaded Jupiter's lockers with sandbags. "Phew, they weigh a ton," puffed Elvis. "But at least we'll have an appetite for my Hungarian beetroot stew." "Sounds about as tasty as these sandbags," muttered Sam. Station Officer Steele decided to arrange for the boats at Pontypandy Boating Lake to be put on standby. The twins were in Bella's cafe drinking lemonade when Fireman Sam and Elvis arrived carrying sandbags. "Hi, Uncle Sam," called Sarah and James. "Whatever have you got there?" asked Bella. "Sandbags," replied Elvis. "There's been a flood warning," said Fireman Sam. "These bags will give you extra protection." Bella still looked baffled. "Don't worry," chuckled Sam. "They're not for making sandcastles. You put them at the bottom of your doors to keep the water out." Over tea, Fireman Sam explained to Bella what to do in a flood. "Make sure you've got a good torch handy," said Sam. "It's a good idea to switch off the electricity at the mains." Bella was so busy listening to Sam that she didn't notice her cat Rosa slip out of the front door. Soon afterwards, Fireman Sam and Elvis called at Dillis Price's shop to deliver the sandbags. They were astonished when they walked inside. The shelves were absolutely bare. "Where's all your stock?" asked Fireman Sam. Have you been robbed?" asked Elvis. "No, I heard about the flood, so I've moved my stock upstairs," chuckled Dillis. "Well, that's sensible," laughed Fireman Sam. "But I don't think the water's going to be quite that high." "It doesn't pay to take chances," sniffed Dillis in reply. Later at the station, a message came through. Station Officer Steele looked at it carefully, then called out to Fireman Sam and Elvis. "Jump to it, lads. Pandy River has burst its banks." "Great fires are London," cried Sam. "Man the boats." Station Officer Steele, Fireman Sam and Elvis climbed into Jupiter and sped through the rain to the boating lake. As they arrived in Pontypandy, the rain had stopped, but the town was already flooded with water from the river. Bella and the twins gazed out of the cafe window as it almost lapped up to the window ledge. "There's Uncle Sam," cried James as Fireman Sam rowed his boat through the town, closely followed by Station Officer Steele and Elvis rowing a boat full of animal feed. "I'd better get Sarah and James home," called Fireman Sam. "I'll head out to Pandy Farm," replied Station Officer Steele, "in case there are any animals stranded by the flood." Fireman Sam rowed up to the side of the window of Bella's cafe and helped the twins into the boat. The twins giggled with excitement. "I can't find Rosa," called Bella. "Can you keep an eye out for her, Sam?" "Will do," replied Fireman Sam. "Look, there's Norman, sir," cried Elvis as they rowed through Pontypandy Park. Norman Price was standing on top of the bandstand. "What on earth are you doing up there?" asked Station Officer Steele. "I didn't want to get my trainers wet," replied Norman. He leapt into the boat, almost capsizing it. "Whoa!" cried Elvis. "Landlubber," muttered Station Officer Steele. By now, Fireman Sam had dropped off Sarah and James. Suddenly, he spotted Trevor sitting on the roof of his bus. "What's happened?" asked Fireman Sam. "Has your engine seized up?" "Yes," replied Trevor. "Thank goodness you've arrived. Thought I'd starve to death up here." "It's not even lunchtime yet," chuckled Fireman Sam. Trevor climbed into the boat nervously. "Easy does it," said Fireman Sam as he helped Trevor into his seat. I hope I don't get seasick, muttered Trevor. I hope not too, laughed Fireman Sam. We'll need your services as an auxiliary fireman today. Fireman Sam was heading back to the station when Trevor remembered he had a delivery for Bella aboard his bus. Don't worry, said Fireman Sam. The cafe won't be open today, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Station Officer Steele, Elvis and Norman had reached Pandy Farm. Look, cried Norman, getting to his feet. There's some sheep. Elvis rode towards the stranded sheep. Starboard a bit, Station Officer Steele ordered. A little bit to port. We'll never get all these sheep on board, said Norman. Silly boy, replied Station Officer Steele. We'll just leave them enough feed to last until the flood subsides. Elvis, said Norman, can I have a go at rowing, please? Elvis didn't look too sure, but handed over the oars to Norman. It's not as easy as it looks, said Station Officer Steele, as Norman prepared to pull the first stroke. Oh, they're too heavy for me, wailed Norman. He dropped the oars in the water. Then now what? Asked Elvis, as the oars disappeared. We'll have to paddle with our hands, replied Station Officer Steele. But with Elvis and Norman paddling on one side of the boat and only Station Officer Steele on the other, the boat went round in circles. Norman, barked Station Officer Steele, sit with your arms folded. Eventually, they reached the island and scrambled out of the boat. Sitting on the grassy island surrounded by sheep, Norman sat forlornly. We could be stranded here for ages. We could send a message in a bottle, suggested Elvis. Don't be silly, Cridlington, growled Station Officer Steele. What do you think this is for? He pulled a two-way radio from his pocket. Great, exclaimed Elvis. You can call the station. Precisely, replied Station Officer Steele, as he pressed the call button and said, Neptune 1 to Neptune 2, over. At the station, Fireman Sam and Trevor were having a mug of tea when Station Officer Steele's call came over Sam's radio handset. Fireman Sam answered the call. Neptune 2 to Neptune 1, receiving you loud and clear, over. Station Officer Steele explained the situation to Fireman Sam. Don't worry, Neptune 1, I'll come to your rescue immediately, replied Fireman Sam, trying not to laugh. Fireman Sam went to the garage and removed a tow rope from Jupiter's locker. What's up? Asked Trevor. Station Officer Steele and Elvis are stranded, chuckled Sam. I've got to go and rescue them. Do you need any help? Asked Trevor. No, I can manage, replied Fireman Sam. You look after the phones. Sam rode through Pontypandy on his way to the Pandy Farm. Have you seen Rosa yet, Fireman Sam? Called Bella. Not yet, replied Sam, but I'll keep my eyes peeled. We're saved, shouted Norman as he spotted Fireman Sam coming towards them. Fireman Sam pulled up alongside Station Officer Steele's boat and began tying up the tow rope. What happened to the oars? Asked Sam. A certain little stowaway made us lose them, growled Station Officer Steele as they clambered back into their boat. Norman gulped nervously. I think I'll jump in with you, Fireman Sam. Not to worry, grinned Sam. You're all safe now. Fireman Sam called the station on his radio and told Trevor that everybody was rescued safely. Then he rode into Pontypandy High Street. I'd better drop you off first, Norman, said Fireman Sam. Your mother will be worried. As Sam pulled in at the shop, Dilys was at the window. My little angel, she cried. Thank goodness you're safe. I was stranded, Mum, cried Norman. It was great. Next time we'll leave you there, muttered Station Officer Steele under his breath. 2 days later, it was bright and sunny, and the flood had gone. Fireman Sam gave Trevor a lift back to his bus. With a bit of luck, the sun will have dried out your engine, Trevor, said Fireman Sam as they pulled over to where the bus was parked. I think I'd be better off with a water bus, chuckled Trevor as they climbed down. Fireman Sam lifted the bonnet of Trevor's bus. "Doesn't look too damp, Trev," said Fireman Sam. "Give it a try." Trevor climbed into the driver's seat and turned the ignition key. The engine coughed and spluttered. "Try again," called Fireman Sam. "It's no use," replied Trevor. "It's completely dead." Fireman Sam got out his toolkit and worked on the engine, but it was no use. "I'm afraid it's going to take a while to dry out, Trevor," said Fireman Sam, scratching his head. "Can you give me a tow to the garage, Sam?" asked Trevor. "No problem," replied Fireman Sam, as he made for the Jupiter. Looking through the locker, he realised that he'd left his tow rope attached to the boat. "Not to worry," said Trevor. "I've got one in the bus." Trevor opened the back doors and couldn't believe his eyes. Fireman Sam looked over Trevor's shoulder. "Well, well," chuckled Fireman Sam. Rosa was curled up, asleep on the back seat. Meanwhile, Bella and the twins had been searching for Rosa. They looked everywhere, in the basement, round the dustbins, and up the garden tree. "It's no use," Bella moaned. "My poor Rosa must be lost." "Don't worry, Bella," said Sarah soothingly. "Rosa will turn up. She always does." "I hope she didn't come to any harm in the flood," whispered Bella, wiping away a tear. Meanwhile, Fireman Sam had tied the tow rope from Trevor's bus to Jupiter. "I've done enough towing to last me a lifetime," laughed Fireman Sam as he climbed aboard the fire engine. "Ready, Trevor?" called Fireman Sam. Trevor gave the thumbs up, and they drove off. Sam steered Jupiter carefully through the winding lanes of Pontypandy as he headed for the town centre. In Trevor's bus, Rosa sat on the passenger seat, calmly enjoying the view. "Bella will be pleased to see you, looking safe and sound," chuckled Trevor. "And while we're at the cafe, I can drop off my delivery." Bella and the twins were outside the cafe when Trevor and Fireman Sam arrived. "I've got a surprise for you, Bella," called Trevor as he carried Rosa off the bus. "Rosa!" cried Bella as she gave her a big hug. "Where have you been?" "Snug on the back seat of Trevor's bus," chuckled Sam. "Poor Rosa must be starving," said Bella. Trevor opened a wooden box he'd bought for Bella. "I don't think she's exactly starving," said Trevor. "My delivery to you was a box of fresh fish," he laughed. "Until Rosa found them. During the flood, Rosa was the safest, best-fed cat in Pontypandy," cried Sam. "Bellissima," laughed Bella. "Come inside and I'll make you the best-fed bus driver and fireman in Pontypandy." The end. Goodbye, Mila. Goodbye, Jack. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.